Things spoke.
What's up, folks? What's going on? This is CEO of MF for Seasons and Sauces. And if you're not doing nothing on Sundays at 6 p.m., you gotta check out the Man Cave. I approve this message. I'm on my way. Check them out every Sunday, 6 p.m. The Man Cave. Yeah.
Welcome to another edition of the Man Cave, where we give our opinion and facts of just about everything. Today on the show, the best way, man, that I can describe this brother is my successful little brother. This man makes me feel like Charlie Murphy when Eddie Murphy got big. Just so proud of his baby brother, man. I'm so proud of this brother. Minister, motivational speaker, inspirational speaker, husband, dad, all around great guy, man. Welcome to the show. This brother will be so inspiring today, but welcome to the show, Minister. I was gonna say Louis Fairchild, Lou Jones. Welcome to the show, bro, man.
Yo, thank you for having me, bro. Man, it's definitely an honor and a privilege, and you my guy, man. We go way back, and I'm just glad to be here and just get to hang out with you for a while and kick it.
Yeah,
it brings back good memories from when we were in Bible college together back in the day, and now I'm just here, continuing to fulfill purpose. Right, that's what it's about.
Yes,
so
sir.
Thank you, my brother. I'm glad to be here.
No problem, man. No problem. One of the things that we're gonna get into is how. Well, tell me. Let's go start at the beginning. Tell me your roots. Where did you grow up, and where did you go to school? What went into making the man that is today?
Hey, born and raised in Detroit, Southwest Detroit and West Side.
Okay, so, sorry to hear that.
My grandparents stayed in Southwest Detroit. My mother stayed on the West Side, and so between those two areas, that's where I grew up and really learned life. Right, how to survive on the street, but at the same time, from there, when the street got too rough, we moved out to one of the suburbs, out to Oak Park, and that's where I kind of connected with life after that. Right, so. From there, obviously, my mother went to Word of Faith, and then that's how I ended up at the church there, and the rest is history, right? So that's kind of like my foundation. Born and raised in Detroit, that's I still call home. So
and I remember your mom because we used to usher together at Word of Faith.
Okay.
Yep. And then to be in Bible school with her son, I was like, ain't no doubt that's her boy right there. So Lou, man, we had a whole show before the show.
Oh man,
we did. We had a whole show before the show, and
we had too much time to talk before the show.
Yes, and we almost I should have just recorded the pre-show. But the thing about it is, you eventually got into inspiring people. So I know. So when we were in Bible school, we learned about church histories. We honed in on our gifts that God gave us individually. We were taught how to use those gifts. How did you get your gift and make it inspirational tool? Tell me about that journey.
Well, at that time, we all felt obviously the calling we had on our life. So that's why we went to Bible school, right?
Yeah.
And so from there, it was, okay, what you going to do? Serve, right?
Yeah.
You serve, they used to say, serve another man until you get your own, right? So I just started serving, but there were certain ministers or evangelists that really stood out to me, right? To name one of them, Tim Story, right? Just the way he ministered, that inspiration, that he ministered to people in Hollywood, right? So I always geared towards that. I kind of caught on to that. I kind of like that, but then at the same time, I like the kind of the word foundation we came from. And so it was kind of like combining those two. And then over the years, as I started to get placed into different ministry positions, and I became a youth pastor. Never would have thought in a million years I would be a youth pastor, but I had a connection with young people, and that grew. So I've done that for over 20 plus years now, and I'm not right at this moment a youth pastor, but I still function as a youth pastor. I still serve with my local churches in the youth ministry just as a volunteer, but they consider me a youth pastor. But all those things, really, it goes back to like your gift, right? I always had a desire to want to help people and inspire people.
Yeah.
And so how do I do that? I'm thinking it was in the four walls of the church, where I realized real quickly ministry really starts outside of the four walls of the church, right?
Yes, sir.
And so from there, it was, all right, well, how do I do this? So outside of being a youth pastor when I was in the church, or a minister in the church, whether it's a singles ministry, young adults, all those things I've done. But, as social media grew, I started to see, finally, it took years, but I started to see, wow, there's an opportunity to minister to people through social media. And it doesn't always have to be chapter and verse. It can be a word of encouragement, right? That's a gift.
Right. Exactly right.
Itself, right? And so that's how I kind of find my place, just being me, but at the same time, using these different examples I've seen out there to just let it flow into whatever God had it become. And now I know I can now minister from both lanes. I can minister the word, but the way I'm wired, it's going to come from an inspirational standpoint.
Yeah.
Or I can minister straight motivation, because my goal is to reach the lost.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm reaching the lost, but they don't know that I'm reaching them from a standpoint of God's love, right? So I don't always have to throw chapter and verse at them, but I'm gonna tell them I believe in them. I believe in you. You can do it. You can overcome. Let me share with you how I overcame. Let me share some of my trials and things I've been through in life, and use that to inspire people. And now that's what I do. I had an opportunity a few weeks ago. I started volunteering at a youth detention center here in Dallas. And I'm in Dallas, Texas now. The other D, not Detroit.
the little D.
Don't tell nobody you said no. And so, man, getting back to, those that need that encouragement, need that inspiration, right? And it's because I grew up in Detroit. I've been through struggles, been through different things, and now being in front of these young people, because youth in the detention center is not the same as youth in the church.
Yeah, right.
So with these kids, I could just be a little bit more like, my stories, my past hit a little different with them, and then the energy I bring to it, man, it's life changing. And so that's what I'm doing right now, man. And that's what I want to do. And so all those things evolved into me now inspiring through social media and whoever God puts in front of me.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is a lot of people just don't like to be preached at or preached to. Yeah. But inspiring words will open someone up. One thing that I learned about sharing the gospel with people is to try to make them laugh. You make them laugh, you open them up. And then you can deposit what you need to deposit. And then you can move on to the next person. And then, that's why comedy is so big today, because people want to laugh. Laughing is healthy to your body. So anything that's attractive or beneficial to you, they want. So you open up by laughter and you hit them with the word. And that's what your inspiration does for me. I got a quick testimony. I told you off the air. I'm going to tell you now again. So listen, everybody, I was at a point where I was tired. I was tired of people, places, things, anything that was a noun. I was tired, man. And so I'm a big fan of Lou on his YouTube channel. he got a YouTube channel called Luke Jones Inspires. And so one day I'm on there, or actually I'm on Facebook, on his Facebook, and I'm tired. And I know that, I got a couple of things going over here, a couple of things going over here, and I just want to rest. I just want to stop the world. And this came up.
You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. That's it. I just wanted you to know that.
It was just such a simple revelation, and it tapped me, and a spring of energy came out. Like, yes, that's what I needed. And it was just so simple. You didn't preach at me. You didn't give me scripture and verse, but you tapped into something that was dormant that I needed. And that's what I appreciate about you, Lou. And you do it so simple, man. It's like, it made me think, dang, I could do that. But you're anointed to makes it so easy. And so the whole thing is, let me get into this. You wrote a book called Unstoppable Affirmations. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the QR code up here in the corner so that people can click the QR code and find all the information about how to get this book. This book is 31 days of words that transform your mind and level up your life. Define what you mean by level up your life.
Taking your life to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Each and every one of us have a particular area in our life that we want to see level up.
Yes.
Right. And so whatever that area is, I try my best to write a chapter on it. Wow. And I didn't write the chapter. I crafted the chapter with the intent of giving you the opportunity to speak some words over your life in that particular area so that you can level up. Okay. And for example, there's a chapter in there on weight loss.
Really?
Affirmations for weight loss, right?
Really?
People be like, how you just gonna speak weight loss into your life?
Yes.
What else you gonna do, right?
Because that's day 11. Yeah. Day 11. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, because it's 31 days, right?
Yeah.
Because for me, what precedes action? Your thinking, right? Before you take an act on something, you have to think it first. Yes. And so in order to start thinking that thing, you need to meditate on that thing. You need to start speaking that thing, right? And so for me, okay, let's start speaking the right things over our life. And I'm gonna give you an example, man. Listen, even that chapter on weight loss, it's not just what you say, it's what you do. But if you haven't taken the action first, let's just start with the easy part. Let's start with changing the words we speak about that particular area in our life.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And recently, back, what is this? We're towards the end of the year now. Earlier this year, my wife and I, we hired a nutritionist, a coach. Okay. And he came along and he said, hey, I want to teach you how to eat, what to eat, and then I'm going to teach you how to lose the weight you want to lose. Now, most people will look at me and they say, Lou, it didn't look like you had much weight to lose. Well, over COVID, I gained 40 pounds.
Really?
Yeah. I gained 40 pounds. And so, man, I was like a size 36. I went from a 32 to a 36. Okay. And so when you buy new clothes because you can't fit the same clothes you've been wearing for 20 years, you know what I mean? You know something has changed, right?
Yeah.
And so besides not having the energy and all those different things, and I knew something needed to change. And so my wife approached me with this opportunity to hire. Notice I said hire, okay?
Right.
Well, it was going to cost something. So we meet with this guy and it was going to be an investment. But I realized that I can't just be saying it and not taking action.
Yes.
Am I going to be that hypocrite, right? Because I know if I'm saying it, now I need to take action. But now there's somebody that's going to help me take the action, right? And we hired this guy. He put us on this plan. We, what we were eating changed. And we were avid people that work out. I mean, we did boot camps 3-4 times a week, right?
Oh, wow.
We would do whole hour boot camps where we're working out. In Texas, we got this thing called Camp Gladiator where people be working out in the parking lot outside, running around. We've been doing that for years.
Mm.
Been doing that rigorous exercise, but not losing weight, actually gaining weight. Why?
Yeah.
Because I found out, man, weight loss really starts in the kitchen before it starts in the gym.
Ah.
And so, and it's really starts in the mindset as well, right? And so I knew, okay, let's do it. So I had to listen to what he was saying and apply it. 90 days. It was a 90-day plan. And in 90 days, I had lost 30 pounds.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
No workouts. Only 45 to 60-minute walks every day.
What?
5 days a week. That's it. And that's called slow burn cardio, right? And
Really?
from there, changed what we were eating. Cut out carbs, protein, vegetables, no junk food, none of that craziness. And some other things we did, but man, it was basic. It was simple. And lost the weight. Now I'm down to the same weight I weighed back in 2016.
Really?
Yeah, because I was well over 200. Now I'm down. My average weight is 175. So
wow.
Yeah, I say all that to say is that, man, when I realized it started with what I was saying, and then from what I was saying, I was like, I can't be saying it. I got to take action.
Yes.
But my words empowered me to take action.
Yeah.
And that's where it starts. And so I have chapters like that in the book, whether it's on relationships, confidence, spiritual growth.
Yes.
Just, man, I wrote it with, and I'll say this. The reason why I wrote the book is I started going live. We talk about, ministering to people and encouraging people. Well, back in 2022, I was going live and preaching on TikTok, just sharing the gospel, right? Encouraging, motivating people. And before I know it, these people started reaching out to me. Hey, can we talk? Do you do coaching? What? Life coaching? What? So I'm like, okay, let me go get certified. So because you know me, the ministry foundation we come from, we want to be qualified before we do something, right?
Yes.
So I go get certified and I start doing life coaching. And what I realized, to help the people that I was coaching reach their goals, they needed to start changing what they were saying about their life. They needed to start changing what they were saying about starting that business or whether they could accomplish it or not, whatever it was. And one of the assignments I would give people while I was coaching them, I would say, hey, I want you to find 2 scriptures on that business you want to create, or that going back to school, or whatever it was, or it was a relationship or something, like want to start dating or whatever. I want you to find 2 scriptures, and I want you to find 2 scriptures to stand on, and then create 2 affirmations. So I want you to confess those affirmations over yourself every day. Speak those scriptures over yourself every day, right? And over few weeks of coaching and working with them, I started to see that their words, they started to take action on their words, and I started to get results. And at the same time, what I would do is I would create a list of affirmations for whatever that subject they were dealing with and send that to them to add value, right? So, okay, now you need to start speaking these over your life.
Yes.
And that's where the book was birthed, because I started to see all these people that I were coaching, they was getting all these results, but I noticed their language and how they were speaking over themselves was changing from the beginning to 60 days in, 90 days in. Now they're speaking more positive. They're speaking more life over their situation.
Right.
And it started with, I got them to change what they were speaking. And that's what the book was birthed out of. Because through prayer, God was like, because God had put on my heart to write a book. He gave me the title years ago, Unstoppable. That's all I had. That's all I had. I got that title maybe back in 2019, Unstoppable. I knew it was a book title, but I didn't know what. What came through prayer and through being obedient in one area, through the coaching. Then later in prayer, God said, I want you to write the book called Unstoppable Affirmations. Take what you've learned from this situation, because you're seeing people get results, and boom, that's where the book came from.
Wow, man, what a journey. Because let me share with people the different categories that you have affirmations in. Affirmations to level up your spirit and soul. Man, That's like growing spiritually, increasing in your self-love and so forth. I'm not gonna give them all because I got to get the book. Like I got the book. Affirmations to level up your health and wellness. That's what the weight loss part is. That's day number 11. Improving your body image and overcoming depression. Now that's a good one. That's a good one. And you're man, it's so simple. It's just if it was a snake, it'll bit you. And it's so simple to even now that you explained it, your speech turns everything. And it's the initiator. You know what I'm saying? Then you got affirmations to level up your success and abundance. Affirmations to level up your attitude and confidence. Affirmations to level up your relationships and family. Wow. Okay. I should have started there. Affirmations to level up your productivity. So I'm reading this book, and of course we told that the most important part of the book is the table of contents. Mm-hmm. And right after I read the table of contents, I read the foreword. And I'm thinking, who is this foreword written by? And I'm like, geez almighty, this man is married to a motivational speaker. It's like, it's just inspiration coming through the walls at your house. And so her YouTube page is called Ruth Jones Inspires. So I go there and see this.
Have you ever gotten up on the wrong side of the bed? Well, yesterday, that was your girl. I was in a funk. But here's 4 strategies I use to bust a bad mood and reset my day. Number 1, be still. Often at the root of a bad mood is fear and anxious thoughts bombarding your mind. Sit quietly for 3 to 5 minutes and meditate on the goodness of God. 2, let go. Let go of the pressures, the emotions trying to weigh you down. Shift your focus from performance to His peace. And number 3, know He is God. Thank Him for being who He is. God, I thank You for being my counselor, my waymaker, my provider. Y'all, I almost didn't get past this one because I started being filled with such joy. But number 4, the last thing is to relax, chill. Go on about your day with lightness and ease. So the next time you get attuned and are in a mood, do these 4 things. If you agree, drop a smiley face in the comments below and follow for more.
Incredible, man. It's just like you guys are bouncing off each other, and it's like amazing how God put you guys together, and you guys are producing this inspirational giant stuff that is really blessing people. Can you talk about the time you were on TikTok for like hours and hours and hours, and what happened as a result of that?
TikTok created this feature a few years ago where you can just go live. Mm-hmm. And the difference with TikTok compared to any other site is when you go live, they will push your feed out to people beyond just your friends. Mm-hmm. So you can have 5 followers and you can have 1,000 people watching you, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was like, man, if you're a preacher, you got a word in you, go live. You don't have to wait to get invited to a church to preach or go on a street corner. Go live. People are on their phones. And so I said, okay, let me go live and just share what's on my heart. Share God's love, right? So I would jump on TikTok 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. I'm already a night owl, right? And I would start preaching, just preaching God's love straight from the word, just scripture after scripture. And it gets good. And, you got 10 people watching you, 20 people watching you, 100 people watching you. Next thing I know, it's 3 hours later. One time I preached for 6 hours, just straight preaching the word. Like they say preachers can be long-winded. Yeah, I was long-winded. All right. Didn't nobody tell me to stop. Wow. But I look up and there's 500, 700 people listening.
Wow.
Where do you get that? Right. And so that's where the people started reaching out to me, for coaching, for advice. And so I knew that God had put me in that space to be a blessing, to minister, to encourage, to motivate and inspire. Right. And now having the opportunity to have this book out, now I can put something in people's hands that can help them when they're not watching a video by me.
Right. Right.
And it's a blessing. Here's what I found out. Real change happens from the inside out.
Yes.
And man, when God's word gets in you,
Mm-hmm.
change
Yeah.
is happening from the
Oh yeah.
inside out,
Definitely.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a blessing, man. And I'm
Yeah.
looking to do more of that.
Yes.
Just balancing life and new
Yeah.
job.
Oh yeah. I got you. I
So
got you. But the people, you have so much content that even if you I don't know if you wanted how when you wanted to do it again, but there's enough stuff for people to start packing on that's already on your site. Lou Jones Inspires on YouTube and Ruth Jones Inspires on YouTube. It's enough there to get started, because I really and I went through them. A couple of them I went through like 4 times. It's like, yes, Lou, yes, Ruth, but
yeah. And that's
it,
my better half. But let me just say, my bride, God has blessed me
yeah,
beyond measure. My
mm-hmm,
wife has not only made me a better man,
mm-hmm,
but she's made me, father. I'm a
yeah,
father, and being
mm-hmm,
a husband to her is an honor. And
mm-hmm,
we have the honor of raising a 6-year-old. He'll be 7 in a few days, actually.
yeah,
And
mm,
doing life with her is wonderful.
yeah,
We're both learning, growing together, and
mhm,
have similar callings, right?
yeah,
So
right. And see,
her focus, yeah, her
that's what I
focus is
love to
on
see, man.
women. So
It's God when all these pieces fit together like that.
yeah.
And then I like
I
to
will
see.
say, Aaron, you mentioned her, and the reason why you mentioned her is because I asked her to do the forward in my book.
Mm-hmm.
And so the reason why I asked her to do the forward in my book is because she is actually the first author in our family. She
Oh,
actually came out with a book about a year or two ago called
mhm.
Living the Sweet Life. And
Okay.
so, and I was there. I saw that whole process of her coming out with her own book. And so I told her it would just be perfect if she would write the forward, right? And so
Well,
she was like, "Really?" I said, "Absolutely, write the forward
yeah,
because I want to honor you because you're the first author." And so that's why I had her write the forward in my book.
that is excellent, man. That is excellent. Hey guys, if you guys are interested in Lou's book, Unstoppable Affirmations, click the QR code and it'll give you all the information. And if you guys got teenagers, Lou got another book, Unstoppable Affirmations for Teens. And I thumbed through this and it was like, it talks about a lot of things teenagers go through, will go through, have been through. And man, it is just the dynamite, the dubious, what is that? Dubious, whatever the word is that we learn in school. It's right here, and it's a powerful tool to get your mouth to initiate what you've been actually wanting for the rest of your life. And the earlier you start, the better. We have a couple of comments I want to get to too. Faith for him, faith in him says, "Hello all. The rapport and enthusiasm you two have to share the Lord's makes me think of the movie The Forge." Yeah, yeah. Did you see The Forge?
No, I haven't saw it yet. I'm gonna have to check it out now.
Yeah. Maddie Wiggins, my little baby sister, says, "Amen. Faith without works is dead. Love what you are saying about weight loss." I hear you, Maddie. I hear you, Maddie. So let me say this: the things that are in see, I got a signed copy. The things that's in the the teen book. As a youth pastor, you come across teenagers that's going through certain situations. I'm sure that they stuck out to you, and I'm sure that you wrote a lot of those things down, like affirmations to level up your attitude and confidence, to level up your family and friendships, with health and wellness, just like the adult book, success and future to level up productivity, and then you got bonus chapters in the teen because I noticed that the teenage book is a little thicker,
I
and he
can
says,
explain that. I can explain that.
okay.
So here's the thing, Aaron. I wrote 17 additional chapters for the teen book. And
Okay.
so there was all the chapters that are in the adult book
Mhm.
are in the teen book, but they're tweaked to fit teenagers, right?
Yeah.
except for the weight loss chapter. I didn't put that in there. I was like, no, I'm not putting that in there. Right.
Right.
I have chapters on health,
Yeah.
but for the teen book, I wrote because there are certain things teenagers deal with, right? So, I went, and when I wrote that, first, I wasn't even planning on coming out with 2 books in 1 year. Let me just say that. It took me a year and a half to write the adult book. Okay. That's a whole story in and of itself, right? Pressing through, because the enemy don't want you to complete a work that's going to bless people.
Yes.
And change lives. And I had to press through that. And so the teen book, the additional chapters in the teen book, whether it's chapters on academics, sports, exam taking, I have affirmation chapters on overcoming gaming and social media dependence. Yeah. Affirmations on physical purity. Okay. And I'm gonna keep it real, since we just keeping it real. It's the man cave, right?
Yes, sir.
The affirmations on physical purity is actually sexual purity.
Yes.
Okay? But we're the Bible say what to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, or something like that, right?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I had to. I didn't put the word sexual in there because I want this book to get in schools. I don't want churches, because we ain't gonna talk about seeker friendly, but I don't want nobody to take any issue. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, right?
Yes.
So no, that's about physical purity, and you'll see it because for those that don't have the book yet, before you start the affirmations, I start off each chapter with 2 quotes. And I start the chapter off with 2 different inspirational quotes to set the tone for what you're going to start speaking over your life.
Yes.
And so I say that, man, the teen book is, the adult book is my heart, right? But the teen book, because I was a youth pastor for almost 20 years, that's really my heart, right?
Yes.
So, and then it's totally wrote to fit teens, the design. My wife, and by the way, she's my publisher. She edited it and she designed it.
Really?
Yes, she's a publisher. Listen, I'm gonna brag on her for a minute. She not only has her own book out, but before we got married, the one thing I told her, because she said, I could easily write one of your books, from all your sermons. I was like, nope, not until you write your own book. And I remember her saying, I got to find my own voice. Because Aaron, man, she has written over 25 books for other people. By the way, a lot of these pastors that have books out there, they didn't write those books.
What? She wrote them?
Let the cat out the bag. A lot of these books that these pastors have, they may be their sermons turned into a book, but someone took those sermons, put it into a format where it's a good read in a book.
Wow.
She does that in her sleep.
Really?
And so, she's done that. She's written between courses and books, over 25 books for other people. And so she literally, she just helped somebody publish a book literally weeks ago. But so my wife could do it in her sleep, right? And so she's designed it, the design, the cover, all that stuff. I just tell her kind of the design of what I want. And she got skills like that.
Wow. So you guys are you don't even have to go outside your house. you got the content, you got the publishing, you got everything there. Man,
and that's why we're trying to build our own empire, man. That's our focus now. So it's kind of like we have too much in us to allow the gifts and talents that God has given us to stay buried.
Yes.
Or use it for someone else on a 9 to 5.
Yes, exactly right.
So that's why I'm supporting my wife now. She stepped away from corporate, a year ago to pursue entrepreneurship through content creation, book writing. So that's what she's doing. And she's killing it, man. She's doing a great job at that. And I'm supporting her in that. Wow. And as I'm doing it kind of at the same time, but on a little bit lesser scale, coming out with books and still working full time and doing that, taking care of business. But that's our heart, man, is to minister to God's people and to reach the lost, to inspire people and help people go to the next level in their life.
Well, okay, we got to take a commercial break though, man. But we're gonna take this commercial break, and when we come back, I want you to share how God has been blessing you even while you were writing books, even while you were going through whatever you were going through, God continually blessed you through it all. And to get to this point and be super blessed in marriage, super blessed in your family, and how he just favored you. But we'll talk about it when we come back. I want us to take a little break and throw some shine on our sponsors. First is Antoine Williams, owner and operator of MF for Seasonings and Sauces. The MF means more flavor. MF for Seasonings and Sauces. This stuff is the best and is low to no salt. And this brother has he started off just making a barbecue for people at his job, and they loved it. And they was like, "What kind of seasoning?" He said, "I did my own seasoning," and he started his own store. You can find him in a lot of places in Detroit, and he's branching outside of Michigan. Really good brother, Antoine Williams, MF for Seasonings and Sauces. And my nephew, Chef Hightower, Chef Jamel Hightower of Hightower Catering. You can find him at hightowercatering.com. This brother has been going all over the country cooking. He has been called. Now he has been called to go to New Orleans to cook, a place where they're known for food. So he goes down there, cooks for people down there, flies back. He is one of the most inspirational guys. Speaking of inspiration, he is the most inspirational guy that I know. One of them. And so Antoine Williams and my nephew Jamel Hightower are our sponsors, and we'll take a break right after this.
Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
Looking for good homemade cuisine at a reasonable price for your next event? Well, look no further. Hightower Catering, the best caterer in the city, is just a dial away. Hightower Catering. Let Chef Hightower and his staff bring good food and good mood to your next social event. Hightower Catering. Hightower Catering has a wide array of cuisine made by his own special seasonings. Hightower Catering does it all. Call Hightower Catering today. Hightower Catering. Good food equals good mood. Hightower Catering. Call Hightower Catering at 313-478-6030. That's 313-478-6030. And find us on Instagram and Facebook. Man, Lou, so when you do things for God, he has a way of blessing you tremendously, right?
Yeah.
And so you were telling me, well, actually, you didn't tell me. I heard you tell this story, and I just never forgot it. This incredible story, how you were promoted on your job 500 times in 15 minutes. You got to share that story, man.
So a few years ago, I worked for a nonprofit, and working for this nonprofit, I was doing corporate training. And, you know, I started off in the classroom, and I'm just doing what I know to do. You know, I'm teaching this material to help people. And basically this nonprofit, we did training where we would help people that were in entry-level jobs move up to management, right? Mm-hmm. And it was all about serving the inner city and rural areas, people that were, you know, they needed that extra help, right? And so really, that's what we did. We had them come to a classroom for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and we would teach them. And so now you got to think, I'm a teacher, you know, at heart, you know, teaching the word. This is not church or anything. So I can't teach the Bible, you know what I mean? But I'm teaching the material. But I realized in teaching it, I can still be myself. I can inspire through the material, right? So I would start off each class with a motivational quote or an affirmation that I would have these adults, these are adults, right? Speak over their lives. And so I just put myself into it and I was faithful over that. So that's year one. Going into year two, they're like, hey, you're good at this. We want to replicate what we're seeing. So in order to do that, we need you to train other people. So that's promotion. So within those 6 years, I was promoted 4 times.
Wow.
And man, and it goes back to just, I'll tell one story real quick from that whole experience there at this nonprofit. Now, this is one of the best jobs I've had. Okay. And that's saying a lot because I've worked for a few different people, including church. But anyway, so man, I worked with a group of people that were like family. They were phenomenal. But the environment I was in, and by the way, when COVID happened, because I was there for 2 years before COVID happened, shut everything down. So then we went remote. So, but what ended up happening was God allowed me to use my gifts to inspire. I wasn't saying Jesus or God or anything like that, but they knew me. They knew it. You can't hide if you just sold out for God, right?
Yeah.
That joy, that inspiration. And that came across in a way, and that took years to develop, but that came across in a way where it came through my work, and they started to promote me. So I went from being the person in the classroom teaching to being the person to train the people that would go do the teaching. Then I became the person that was hiring the people to go do the training. And then I became finally the person that was training the trainers to go do the training. And so that was those promotions over those 6 years I was there, promoted 4 times. And it was a blessing. And one particular experience when I was there, they wanted to develop an app of the classroom experience so people could just do it right on their phone, not even have to go to a class or jump on Zoom, right? And so they asked me to go to Philadelphia where this company that was designing this app. So I'm there with the CEO, and I didn't know the CEO at the time because I had only been there 2 years. But, as my old manager said, Lou, your wonders go before you, right? We heard that before, right? I didn't know. I'm there because I was complaining about the bootleg apps they had us doing, That was the testing before we developed our own.
Right.
Next thing I know, I'm sitting there next to the CEO, and this company says, Lou, what makes your classroom so successful and why they would say that the app needs to replicate what Lou does in the classroom? This is the first time I heard this. Now, my supervisor warned me, Lou, you're going because you're doing great things in the class, but no one ever said anything to me because I was always in the trenches. So I started explaining to them, well, I'll start off with a team builder, an icebreaker. I'm asking for the CEO, this lady, and she's one of these super smart people.
Okay.
She comes from this, I don't know, people might be familiar. She comes from this company called the McKinsey Project or something. He's a think tank, super smart. So she taps me on the leg. She says, no, Lou, I got this. Now, remember, this is not Christian organization. This is just nonprofit trying to help people in the community. She says, no, Lou, I got this. And she says, and I don't even know, I don't have a relationship with her. She's a CEO, right? Just met her technically, seen her in passing while I'm teaching when she came and visited,
Right.
She taps me on the shoulder, Aaron, and she says, no, let me explain. She tells these people, the reason why Lou's classroom is so successful is because when he starts off his class, he opens the class up like a pastor would a congregation on Sunday. These are worldly people, bro. These are the smart people that don't want nothing to do with God.
Right.
She chose to explain the impact I'm having on these people. Because I got people that are going from entry-level jobs to management. They're being able to provide for their family, and I'm having huge success, right? We were having like 20, 30 people graduate every 6 to 8 weeks. Anyway, by the time she got finished explaining to them, I'm holding back tears.
Wow.
Why? Because I've been in ministry a long time. I've
Yeah.
been doing a lot, but I've never had accolades or never been acknowledged for the great work like that situation.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there emotional because she literally tells these people, if this app doesn't replicate what Lou does in the classroom, it will fail.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that was one of my best testimonies from being on that job. And then guess what? That job ended just like that.
Really?
Yeah. Back in May of 2023, it's a nonprofit. COVID took a toll, right?
Okay.
We lost our funding.
Yeah.
And here's what happened. Quick testimony. My wife, we saved up for 2 years for her to be able to transition into entrepreneurship. With me working the salary, her salary was always more than me because she had been in corporate for years, right? Her salary was up there, right? And my salary was here. So we saved up for 2 years for her to be able to transition. We saved up enough for her to be able to work entrepreneurship for 18 months at my current salary, right?
Right.
She would have an 18-month runway to be able to try this entrepreneurship, writing courses, ministering to people, all this, right? And I'm like, cool, I'm with it because I support her. A week after she left corporate, no longer has a job. Now we're about to do this thing. My job says you got 60 days.
Wow.
Now we got a mortgage.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, like we debt free, thank God, outside of the mortgage, but it's still like, hold on. And honestly, we looked at each other and we said, God got us. We know we have peace about making this transition. God got us.
Right.
And so here's the catch. Now we're going into the summer. I got to start applying for jobs. Now, I knew I could get a job at what I was making at that time. Definitely, it was okay, but it was, now it's kind of like it's going to chop away at that 18-month runway.
Right. Got you.
Employment, all that good stuff. And here was the thing for me. My wife, I'm going to take you back 5 years, 1 year onto that nonprofit job I had. My wife said, you could be making 6 figures doing what you're doing if you just be willing to step away from the classroom. Because she could see it. She was there. But I'm like, but I love what I do. 6 figures. Okay. Now we're in 2023, and Lou don't have no job. So Lou is applying for jobs, and I know I could easily get a job making the same amount. But Aaron, there was a moment during the summer when I was applying for jobs. I started applying for jobs May 2nd. I still had 2 months. My job, they were great. They were so great the last 30 days. They said, do no work, only apply for jobs. We're paying you for 30 days to find a job. That's how great that company was.
Yeah. Sweet.
But in the midst of that, 2 months in, 3 months in, God is like, what if you really believe for a 6-figure job, you could provide for your family at a level where your wife wouldn't even have to go back to work. But Aaron, I didn't believe it, man. Here's what I found out. You talk about mindset, affirmations is all about changing your mindset. I had the skill set. My skill set was here to be able to do corporate training at a particular level. But my mindset was here. And so God ministered to me during the summer. He said, you need to start applying for those jobs that where your skill set is. Your skill set is here. You can make a lot more money. Because remember, I was working for nonprofit. Now I'm going for corporate. So I'm like, bump all this. We believe in every year for funds.
Right.
So I had to get my mindset up. So my wife was like, you need to read that book you didn't wrote. Y'all know a black woman, she gonna keep it real. Okay, let me get these affirmations for a new job. Okay, I got affirmations on that. Okay. So that's when I got my mindset up. Now my mindset is matching my skill set. So I start applying for jobs that were $100,000 more. My faith, though, I'm like, I'm believing God. I'm nervous, but I'm believing God. I barely understand all this stuff in the job description. God was like, I tell you to worry about that? No. Focus.
Yeah.
Then the interviews start happening. Aaron, over 7 months, I applied for jobs. I applied for over 530 jobs.
Really?
Yeah, I kept track, kept a spreadsheet, right? 530 jobs. I applied starting May 1st all the way to November. Well, August 2023, interviews start happening, right? And these are interviews with jobs making over 100,000. Now my faith then went through the roof because I'm like, wow, possible. Well, when it was all said and done, I landed a job with a Fortune 500 company for over 100,000. Salary increase 61%.
Wow, Lou.
Bro, now my wife don't have to go back to work.
Yeah.
I told you about that 18-month transition fund we had for her to get into. It's irrelevant now.
Yeah.
Goodness. But I had to, my mindset had to change.
Yes.
When my mindset changed, because here's the thing, the jobs were out there. I wasn't applying for them because I didn't believe.
Yeah.
Once I started to believe, then I started to apply.
Yes.
And the rest is history, man. Here's what I love, this quote by Les Brown. Les Brown said, if you do in life what is easy, life will be hard. But if you do in life what is hard, life will be easy. You see, it was hard for me to apply and believe that I could get a job making over 100,000. But when I did it, it became easy, and the interviews started happening, and I started realizing, oh, I kind of know what I'm talking about. Man, the rest is history. And now I work for a company that pays me very well, and they are very happy to have me. As a matter of fact, I was 6 months in and got an award for the process that spread throughout the company.
Wow, look at you, Lou.
Lou, I'm gonna recommend you for this award. It's gonna come with a little money, but I just want you to know. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, he said he was gonna recommend me for it. I didn't know it was gonna happen or not.
Yeah, right.
Until my wife one day, we're driving to church, and she says, "Hey, I was looking at your check stubs. You remember I told you something was different? The money wasn't right." Well, she said it wasn't right. She said it was something different. So I sit there on my pay stub, like, look at him. I don't know. I messed up something. I'm like, man. Like, no, you got $2,000 bonus. I was like, wow. What? That award was a $2,000 award.
Wow.
I was like, oh, welcome to corporate, right?
Yeah.
Bro, and I say all that is because I had to, man, God really ministered to me. He said, your mindset has to be there in order for you to step into that thing. And the rest is history. So I had to do what was hard to make life easy, and now life is easier.
Wow. So it's like you took your own advice when you said this.
Maya Angelou said, pursue the things you love doing. I'm going to say it again. Pursue the things you love doing and do them so well that people can't take their eyes off you. Wow. Oh, it's time to pursue. It's time to pursue the thing you love doing and do it at such a high level that people will take notice and that you'll walk in increase from it. Yeah, it's time to pursue, my friends. Pursue what you love doing.
Wow.
Man. See, I'm telling you, I'm
what?
Yes. I was just waiting on you to finish so I can say, look, you doing it, you walking in it. I don't know what level of your life you were in when you made that, but it's just so true, whatever level you are in. And a lot of the things, I heard Michael Jordan say this in his Hall of Fame speech, that fear is like an illusion. It's a smoke screen. The smoke just looks spooky, but you can go right through it. Yeah. And it takes courage. It takes renewing your mind, which is what this whole affirmations thing is about. And this, I'm sure, is based on that scripture about renewing your mind.
It is, yeah.
and going through the smoke screen. Because on the other side of that, like you said, Les Brown said, life gets easier. Man, I'm telling you, Lou, I'm all through this book. I got this I got your bookmark, and see what I did the same thing with my other author, Tracy Jennings. I started at the beginning, then I started skipping, like getting to the relevant stuff. But man, this stuff
That's what it
encapsulates.
was. You got to hit what you need, for the moment.
Right. But it encapsulates a lot of issues of life that people are stagnant in. And then to hear you say it's an adjustment on the way you speak or what's coming out of your mouth, that can be the initiative to getting the stuff done, man. Yeah. I'm so happy I know you, Lou. I don't know what to do, man. I'm so happy I know you, man, because God puts people in my path, and sometimes you can mess those relationships up. But I'm so glad that I know you. And I don't know how old you were back in 97 when we met, but it's just all these people that I met in that class are gems, man. And I could just tap on them and ask them, hey, can you do my podcast? Oh, sure, man. Come on, man. Anytime. And it's like, and you blessed me with a nugget today that you said you've been asked to do many podcasts, but I was the first one you said yes to. Man, you the dude, man. You my Eddie Murphy. You my Eddie Murphy, and I'm Charlie Murphy. I'm just so I ain't gonna die like Charlie Murphy or nothing, but I'm just saying I am so glad to have you as my little brother, man. I really am, and I appreciate you coming on. We got one more comment. Maddie Wiggins says it is truly important to be equally yoked. I love how you and your wife work together as one and placing God first in your lives, man. And you know what else I get joy from? It's watching your son do backflips. I don't know why. I'm just like, look at this boy. This boy is like doing backflips and it ain't nothing. He recovered from it and just had this little calm look on his face. But it's a beautiful thing to watch. The inspiration comes from a couple like you guys, man. And then you got these, it's not like you're sitting on a gift, it's available. And and you can get this from, again, click on the QR code, but I'm assuming Amazon, right?
Yep. Amazon. Yep. Yeah. They're both, the teen version is available on Amazon as well. And, listen, if you know a teenager that's struggling with anything, get it for a teenager. Get the teen version for a teenager. That's my one ask. Get it for someone that needs it. I was just talking literally to a teenager on yesterday, and they, with social media now, they got so much coming at them. They need another voice.
Yes.
And the most important voice they can hear outside of God is their own.
Yes.
So get that book for them.
Yes. And I'm planning on getting them a bunch of them for Christmas gifts. Seriously. How much is the book?
Just 18.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm getting about 10 of these suckers for
a little bit of investment. Take your life to another level.
Goes a long way. And I think a lot of early 20 people can benefit from the teenage thing too, because they never had it as teens. So I think I'm gonna do that, man. And they might be I'll see. I'll get 9 and 9, and then
that's why you got two versions.
Yeah, right.
The teen version is 10 to 18 years old, and then the adult version is 18 and up. So
yes. Lou, I want to thank you for coming on the show, man. I want to thank you. I want to thank your wife, Ruth Jones. Everybody, she's at Ruth Jones Inspires on YouTube. And you think Lou is full of inspiration. His wife is full of inspiration as well. And I'm so blessed to have you on my show. Thank you for coming on, Brother Lou. You are truly an inspiration. Yeah. Thank you, man. And so you got to come back, and when you start doing any other projects that you're doing, because, as we were speaking, I can see you moving into motion pictures, but I'm just going to throw that out there. But anyway,
I received it. Let's go.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us on the Man Cave. We will be back next week with another banger show. And I think you're going to enjoy this lady. She is a songbird from the city of Detroit that you have never heard before. and we're going to explore her journey. And we'll see you guys on the next one. And we're going to end this with another inspirational moment from my boy Lou.
This is for those ready to take back their life. One of the greatest secrets of success is to focus your time and energy on your most important task. Yes, my friend, where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you're ready to overcome that thing, if you're ready to accomplish that thing that's been on your heart for a long time, I need you to focus. And where your focus goes, your energy will come up and you will have the ability to get that thing done. All right. So I need you to take back your life like never before. I believe you can do it. Now I need you to believe in yourself. Now, if you like what you heard, if it resonated with you in some way, drop it in the comments, like, and follow for more.
See y'all next time.